Hello, welcome to the Zubin Foundation Imagine Talent Internship Program 2024 Briefing for Employers. I'm Matthew, working at the Zubin Foundation. The internship program has been running for 5 years already, and I am very honored to be with the Zubin Foundation on this 5-year journey. I'm very glad to have all of you here today listen to this briefing. I hope I can share some information about this year's internship program with you, as well as some learnings that we would like to share with you from our past experiences. The Zubin Foundation, as you may know, is a registered charity in Hong Kong. We are with the mission of improving the lives of ethnic minorities by reducing suffering and providing opportunities. And in 2022, we have impacted 16,000 ethnic minority individuals in Hong Kong through the different work that we are doing. Apart from the outreach work that you may have known us already, we have also a wide range of services and programs that are raising the awareness of racial inclusion and diversity in Hong Kong. Apart from the internship program that we are working with you, there are a lot of ways that we hope to work with corporates. For example, apart from internships, we are also supporting employers to share their job opportunities with the ethnic minority community. We see that only when the companies are embracing diversity and inclusion within the team, within the organization, you can get the competitive advantage. Another way that we have worked on a lot with corporate is volunteering. There are many activities and programs that we need your support, no matter if you register as an individual volunteer or as a group volunteer with your colleagues. Among the many opportunities that we have, there are online opportunities like giving online tutorial to the ethnic minority youth on writing their CVs, polishing their interview skills, to having face-to-face session with our community. For example, teaching them how to make a lantern, teaching them how to dance. Another way that we would like to have your support is the assistance in kind. On every Friday and Saturday, there are many activities that we are running at Zubin's Family Center, such as child gathering for women, elderly gathering, and children's storytelling event on Saturday afternoon. We welcome books, gifts, or anything that you can share with our community. Of course, we also have fundraising and match opportunity that we would like to have you. Feel free to reach out to us if you can think of any programs that you would like to work with the Zubin Foundation together, and we will explore. And one more way that we work with corporate and organizations a lot is on diversity, equity, inclusion training. We hope that through the many services and programs that we work with corporates and organizations, we can create a more inclusive Hong Kong for all. To talk about the internship program for ethnic minorities, as I say, this is the 5th year of the program already. But why do we need to have a diversity program just for ethnic minorities? Why is it important? And after talking to our students and employers in the previous years, we summarize that into the following rationales. The first one is you have to have a good representation. That means we have to normalize to have ethnic minority, non-Chinese individuals, local talent in your team, in your company. Only through the representation, you are embracing it. And the next reason is, of course, to reduce the stigma of employing ethnic minorities. In this society, many believe that the community usually they work in more labor-intensive environment, but it is not true. We have seen accountants, lawyers, nurses, doctors, marketers, human resources professionals. They are in different industries and different functions. So if you are hiring ethnic minorities, no matter as an intern or as an employment, as a staff, you are helping to reduce the stigma. And not to mention, you are providing wider opportunities to these marginalized communities, as they may not be aware of the opportunities and the vacancies in different companies. From our experience in doing job hunting and job advising in the last 5 years, many have shared with us that they don't know where to look for jobs. They will rely on their original social network, which sometimes limit their way to find jobs. And having an internship for tertiary students is very important, as we know, because the more exposure that the student has, the higher possibility that they can secure a job when they graduate. So you are helping them to build the CV. Not to mention, they are talented individuals. So not only you are giving them good experience, you are also getting good talent. As we're talking about talent, ethnic minority is a growing population in Hong Kong. While we are saying that the overall population is rising from a 5% in the last 10 years, the South Asian community has increased over by 50%. So why don't companies and organizations tap into this talent pool? And also, you are helping to reduce racial discrimination by exposing employees to ethnic minorities. And another reason, and it makes business sense, is that it is supporting the Sustainable Development Goals. In the past, we have heard from many students and employers about their experiences, and then we realized that there are some characteristics in our ethnic minority tertiary students. And one characteristic or feature is the difference in communication style. We make reference to the culture map by the Eric Meyer, looking at 8 aspects: communicating, evaluating, leading, deciding, trusting, disagreeing, persuading, and scheduling. If we look at the South Asian culture or Asia culture in general, compared to the West, we realize that in cultures that are more confrontation avoidant, open confrontation is inappropriate and will break group harmony or negatively impact the relationship. So that means our students may unlikely to say no or push back. However, they may find other ways to avoid the matter. So what are some other learnings in the past 5 years? Let's look at the like. What our students like about the work is they can be assigned with meaningful tasks. That means as the employer or supervisor, you need to help them see the big picture, which means instead of just sharing you are doing a task, share with them how your task can help make an impact from the organization perspective, how it is bettering the organization's operation, or it is helping the productivity. You are also advised to ask for their point of view. Usually they have something to say, but sometimes they're shy or they respect the hierarchy, so they don't know whether it's appropriate to share with you or not. So just ask. Culturally, they like employer and teammates ask them what their food preferences or food dietary is. They see that you are respecting them and they value this a lot. Exposure is important as well to the students. They share that even though they may not be able to contribute much to the conversation, It is already beneficial if they can sit in the team meetings or to support the events. They love to be included. So have them in your meeting, have them in your events so they can share the joy, they can observe what you are doing. One thing that our students highlight is they love having a buddy that assigned by your companies, or a buddy that is also an intern, so that they can share their work, their joy, or their concern. It is really important for them to get familiarized with the environment, and a buddy would definitely help boost their confidence. We also ask them what are the things that they struggle with, and they share 4 things. The first one is they share that sometimes they're lost if they don't have enough instruction or they don't have a proper onboarding experience, as they don't know who they're reporting to, they don't know why they're doing certain tasks, or they don't know what they need to work on. So a good introduction will be very helpful. Sometimes they also feel that they are excluded because of the language barrier. In Chinese dominated environment, it is very often that the Chinese colleagues will converse in Cantonese, which makes sense. However, when you have non-Chinese staff, ethnic minority students, they may not be able to catch everything, even though they say they can speak some Cantonese. So invite them to be part of your informal conversation. This is also a sign of inclusion. Some students, they share with us that they're very happy to join the events organized by the companies. However, it is also the first time or the very first time that they do it. It means that they don't have experience attending big events, even though they love to join. They feel uncomfortable because they don't know people around them. They may know you, they may know some colleagues, but many of them in the room, they don't know. So they don't feel comfortable or they feel overplaced. It will rely on the supervisor, the buddy, and the teammates to create an inclusive environment for them. Introduce them to the wider team. And last but not least, sometimes they say they struggle with ad hoc tasks. It's linked to what they like. So that means they like tasks which are in a structured program. So these are the experience we collected from the interns. What are some more tips to the employers? It's not just an internship. It is training the students for life and for all their future roles. And it starts from onboarding and the interview process. Some students in the past, they share with us that, oh, the employer asked me a question in Cantonese in the interview, and they asked me to answer in Cantonese as well. But as you know, I'm non-Chinese, I'm ethnic minority. I don't know Cantonese so much, so I don't know how to answer it. You can sense from their response that they feel insecure. They don't have the confidence in answering question in Cantonese. Even though they understand that this Cantonese question may not be the final question or the final criteria to determine whether they get the role or not, they still worry because they see that this is not something they are good at. If you are planning to ask questions in Cantonese, feel free to share the background or the purpose of doing so. For example, you can share that this is just to understand how well your Cantonese is, to what extent your Cantonese is. This will not be the only criteria deciding whether we hire you or not. This will give them some confidence in answering your question. And if you want, feel free to invite the Zubin Foundation staff to sit in the interview. We're happy to be a part of it. Some expectations that we need to manage as well. So during the onboarding and the briefing, you will share the team value. You will share what you would like to see in the intern. But be reminded that be a bit more specific. For example, when you say you want someone to be proactive, what you mean proactive is in your company culture. When you wish someone to be punctual, what do you mean you want someone to be punctual? It is very important to set the expectation up front. Another thing is about the software used in your company. Understand what software or system the students are familiar with and see if they need certain training. Quite a few students in the past few years, they share with us that it was the first time for them to use Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Calendar. If you don't ask them, they may not be able to share with you. Or you will only find out when they miss your meeting, which is undesirable. As we touch on team culture already, so feel free to share with your interns and your wider team how you want them to socialize. And last but not least, one thing about expectation is feel free to do catch-up, multiple catch-ups with your interns. Even 5 minutes would be great because they want to see that they're on the right track. From a communications perspective, as we touch on their internship experience already, they love to join your meetings. Having them in the room will already be beneficial for them. Another thing that we believe the interns can learn a lot is how to disagree constructively. Very often we see that the interns, they may not know how to push back or how to say no. Or there are times that they don't feel comfortable, but they don't know how to share with the wider team, with the supervisor. They need to learn these skills. And we believe that through observing your meetings, observing the daily conversations you have with the team, among the teams, they can learn it. Some more points on social occasions and photos. As we just shared, some students, they may not know how to mingle because it is not something that they are familiar with, especially with a new crowd of people. We may need more support from the team, from the supervisor to introduce them to the wider teammates or the wider organization. Also ask them if they are comfortable to be in the picture, in the photos. Some may not want to be in the photos, even though they understand this is a corporate event, this is a company event. So for employers, feel free to call the Zubin Foundation if you'd like to talk through any issues you have about internships or employment. The next steps for the internship program is the Zubin Foundation team will share some CVs with you in the next 2 weeks. Feel free to reach out to the candidates directly or the students that informed already that the companies will reach out to them directly if the companies found them suitable. Once you have the CV, feel free to reach out to them and schedule any interview. If they're students, you can't be in touch, you cannot reach them, feel free to come to the Zubin Foundation team, and then we will see if they can get hold of the student. If you would like to extend an offer to a student, great, let's do that. But also be reminded to share with the Zubin Foundation team as well, so that we can congratulate the students, as well as we can prepare the students on the onboarding and give them some final tips before they get onto the internship. I think that's it. You're all ready for getting your new interns on board this summer. Good luck, and feel free to reach out to the Zubin Foundation team if we can be of further assistance. Thank you.